Senate will please come to order. Today's devotional exercises will be conducted by Reverend Mark Wilson of the Waitsfield United Church of Christ. Welcome.
Morning.
Morning.
In some faith spaces, we are currently in the season of Epiphany, celebrating the arrival of sages from the east, led to a manger by a star. But you don't have to be one of the Magi to be on a star journey. Peter Pan was on one too. Second star to the right, straight on till morning. So was Lieutenant Uhura of the Starship Enterprise, or anyone who has ever looked up at the sky in awe and wonder, anyone who has ever wished upon a star. What Epiphany tells us is that we need people from outside our nations and traditions to help us reveal the sacred and the holy to us. And when we embark on our star journeys, what we experience out there shows us who we are in here. Here's a poem from the Spanish poet Pablo Medina, translated by the author and titled "A Poem for the Epiphany." Has lots of snow in it too. It snows because the door to heaven is open, because God is tired of working and the day needs to be left alone. It snows because there is a widow hiding under her mother's bed, because the birds are resting their throats and 3 wise men are offering gifts, because the clouds are singing and trees have a right to exist, because the horses of the past are returning. They are gray and trot gently into the barn, never touching the ground. It snows because the wind wants to be water, because water wants to be powder, and powder wants to seduce the eye. Because once in his life, the philosopher has to admit to a poverty of thought. Because the rich man cannot buy snow, and the poor man has to wear it on his eyebrows. Because it makes the old dog think his life has just begun. He runs back and forth across the parking lot. He rolls on the snow. He laps it up. It snows because light and dark are making love in a field where old age has no meaning, where colors blur, silence covers sound, sleep covers sorrow. Everything is death, everything is joy. Thanks for the privilege of addressing you this morning. Blessings on your work today.
Please rise if you're able for the pledge this morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any announcements? Seeing none, we have some joint resolutions for introduction today. The first being JRS 40. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that when the 2 houses adjourn on Friday, January 26, 2024, it be to meet again no later than Tuesday, January 30, 2024.
Now you've heard the reading of the resolution. The question is, shall the Senate adopt the resolution? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and you've adopted JRS 40. We now have JRS 41 for introduction. Please listen to the reading of the resolution by title.
JRS 41, Joint resolution requesting that the U.S. Postal Service reestablish as rapidly as possible a full-service U.S. post office in downtown Montpelier.
Now you've heard the reading of the resolution. It will be referred to the Committee on Government Operations. We have one House bill for reference. We have H 599 introduced by Representative Sheldon of Middlebury. Please listen to the reading of the bill by title.
H 599, an act relating to retroactively reinstating 10 VSA Section 6081 subsection B.
Now you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Natural Resources and Energy. We are now entering the orders of the day. Our first order of business today is to take up H 158. On June 29th, 2023, the Honorable Philip B. Scott, Governor, vetoed H 158, an act relating to the beverage container redemption system, and returned it to the House and submitted a message explaining his objections to the bill. A copy of the veto message is contained in today's Senate calendar on page 66. The authority of the governor to veto a bill passed by both houses of the General Assembly is found in section 11 of chapter 2 of the Constitution of the State of Vermont. By reason of the wording of section 11 of chapter 2 of the Constitution of the State of Vermont, the Senate is obligated to reconsider H 158 if the House votes to override the governor's veto. The House has already considered the bill and voted to pass the bill, notwithstanding the governor's refusal to approve the bill. The question that you'll be voting on is as follows. Shall the bill pass, notwithstanding the governor's refusal to approve the bill? A yes vote means you want to override the governor's veto and pass the bill. A no vote means you want to sustain the governor's veto. As required by the Constitution, the vote will be by roll call. 2/3 of the members who are present must pass the bill over the objections of the governor. Otherwise, the veto of the governor will be sustained. The question before the Senate is debatable. Upon conclusion of the debate, the secretary shall call the roll. The question is, shall the bill pass, notwithstanding the governor's refusal to approve the bill? Are you ready for the question? With no comments, the secretary shall commence to call the roll.
Senator Baruch,
Yes.
Senator Bray,
Yes.
Senator Brock,
No.
Senator Campion,
Yes.
Senator Chittenden,
Nay.
Senator Clarkson,
Yes.
Senator Collmore,
No.
Senator Cummings,
Yes.
Senator Hewlett,
Yes.
Senator Hardy,
Yes.
Senator Harrison,
Yes.
Senator Hashim,
Yes.
Senator Ingalls,
No.
Senator Kitchell,
No.
Senator Lyons,
Yes.
Senator McDonald,
Yes.
Senator Mazza. No. Senator McCormick,
Yes.
Senator Norris,
No.
Senator Perschlick,
Yes.
Senator Ron Hinsdale,
Yes.
Senator Sears,
No.
Senator Starr,
No.
Senator Bihovsky,
Yes.
Senator Watson,
Yes.
Senator Wheat,
Nope.
Senator Westman,
No.
Senator White,
Yes.
Senator Williams,
No.
Senator Renner,
No.
Please listen to the results of your vote. Those voting yea, 17, those voting nay, 13. 2/3 of the members present not having voted in favor of the passage of the bill, the governor's veto has been sustained. We now have up for consideration JRS 38. JRS 38 is a joint resolution providing for joint assembly for the election of the adjutant and inspector general. The resolution was read for the first time yesterday and placed on the calendar for action today. Are you ready for the question? Excuse me, the question is, shall the Senate adopt the resolution? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and you have adopted JRS 38. We now have up for consideration JRS 39, which was read for the first time yesterday, put on the calendar for action. Is a joint resolution establishing a procedure for the conduct of election of 2 legislative trustees of the Vermont State Colleges Corporation by plurality vote by the General Assembly in 2024. The question is, shall the Senate adopt the resolution? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you've adopted JRS 39. That completes yours of the day. Senator from Chittenden Central.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pending announcements, I would move that the Senate stand in adjournment until Wednesday, January 24th at 1 p.m.
Are there any announcements? Senator from Madison.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Senate Government Operations Committee will meet 15 minutes after the governor's budget address.
Senator from Bennington.
Mr. President, Senate Education will meet a little after 2 p.m. Let's call it 2:05. Thank you.
Senator from Orleans.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Senate Ag will meet at 10:30.
Senator from Chittenden Southeast.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Health and Welfare will meet at 10:30.
Senator from Chittenden Southeast.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Economic Development will meet at 10:45.
Senator from Madison.
Mr. President, Senate Natural Resources and Energy will meet at 10:30.
Senator from Bennington.
President, Senate Judiciary will meet at 10:30. Thank you.
Senator from Chittenden Central.
The Public Health Caucus will meet this Friday, January 26th from 12 to 1 in Pavilion 267. Lunch will be provided.
Sometimes it feels like whack-a-mole. Senator from Windsor.
On that note, good morning, Mr. President. The most decorative or last. This morning, at 12:15, I'd remind everybody we have the Senate Democratic Caucus. We encourage everyone to come. Our arms are open to every member of the Senate. We're hearing from both of our candidates for Sergeant at Arms. It's your great opportunity to hear from them and ask very direct questions. And anyway, we hope that you'll all be there. There will be some snacks, not as many as normal, but there'll be some. The second thing, I'd just like to follow up on David Viette, who's our Executive Director of the Council of State Governments, the Eastern Regional Conference. I'd like to follow up with he just alluded to it, but I'd love to follow up. They have invited us to a reception at Hugo's on the 3rd floor from 6 to 8. And all of us who've benefited from the Council of State Government's terrific work, I would welcome you all to come, not just those of you who have gone to their conferences or been part of their training. So anyway, thank you very much.
Are there any further announcements? By way of announcements, I would like to remind the senators that we have a joint assembly this afternoon at 1 o'clock to hear the governor's budget address. If we could all gather by 12:55 in order to be prepared to enter the joint assembly, that would be appreciated. Any further announcements? Seeing none. Senator from Chittenden Central has moved that the Senate now stand adjournment until 1 p.m. on Wednesday, January 24th. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and the Senate will stand adjournment until Wednesday, January 24th at 1 p.m.